Gyro do, but on their own. You make a couple of stacks for them, and that's it. Your Sven, your Lunas, they're gonna outfarm this combo on their own, and they will match them in the mid to late game.
Yeah. That is kind of the weak point of Gyro. You're outputting a lot of damage, you're farming quickly, but if they can get a carry that has that kind of like Sven, like insta-burst and can take you down, or a Morphling that can just two-shot your Gyro or whatever.
Or turn into Gyro and be a better Gyro,
yeah,
right?
That's true.
Of the flat cannon.
Great hero design. Love it. Love this one. Fucking Morphling. Anyway. I just don't understand who designed that hero. They're like, what if we made a hero where he copies all the other heroes, but he's better? Oh, what's his weakness?
None.
Oh, that's it. That's the hero design. Oh, okay. When he gets stunned, he can just multiply his health times 8. That sounds balanced. What is Morphling's weakness? I don't get it.
I just want to say that I'm in a happier place because Morphling isn't as popular as he was 2 months ago or 3 even. Like, he would literally solo every single game if he has a decent
Hey, look at that! Pulling
you
it
called
out.
it!
Pulling it out.
Slizzard, baby!
Slizzard!
So this
Slizzed!
Actually, I did bring this up because
Slizz that Disruptor.
this is an old CIS classic and an answer to the IO, and of course it works pretty well with the Ember Spirit too. If you can manage to get an ult off or even get him with Vision. I would like to see a lot more Vision coming out for Omegalil though.
This also tells us that the Tiny will be a core.
Right.
Because you have your 2 supports, Grimstroke plus Disruptor. Now the question is, will Tiny be mid or will Doom be mid? I assume it's going to be Tiny. Like, it's a better lane.
Well, we've seen Doom mid a few times. I believe even Banana Slamma Jamma won 6 games as Doom mid at one time.
If Banana Slamma Jamma won 6 games...
Yeah, I'm sure he'll tell us about that. I'm still just impressed that you were able to glimpse into the future.
Hey! You want to know something else from the future? Check this out. Gyrocopter will get a Paladin Sword. Insane. But literally every game that I see a Gyrocopter... and he is doing well, he gets a Paladin Sword.
It's an amazing item for him as well. It's literally exactly what
I'm going to reward you with a glizzy.
Thank you.
During the break.
1 glizzy of your favorite treat.
All right, so...
I know you love them glizzies, brother.
A glizzy of your... please.
Cyberium Seed. They go with a Slardar. All right, this is...
A special treat goes down the glizzy. Slardar! So yes, what were you going to say about Slardar?
I love Slardar. I actually, I feel like, why haven't we seen more Slardar?
I think we will. Like, he fell out of favor to some other offlaners right now, but we're making this circle in which he's coming back. Like,
I think his main problem is that he has an insane power spike after he gets the Ags, but getting Ags on Slardar means that he's already doing well. So he's one of those, like, winning more heroes, which is not something anybody wants to really rely on.
Like, he's pretty solid right now. He's really good versus most cores that are picked on the safe lane. He's also pretty good in this game because it's one of those heroes that does not care at all about Doom and makes his life terrible because of the minus armor as well. Do they have any big combos with the Slardar here? Not necessarily. You don't have anything that benefits too much from that minus armor, like a PA or some single target core, which Gyro usually isn't considered. But it's still a decent game.
Is he kind of just a threat on his own, though? He's like one of those heroes where I just look at him, he's just like,
in the laning phase, I mean, he just kills you. It's like 2 hits, you're dead. But I have a problem with Cyber's draft. I feel like it is extremely go get 'em. High magical damage dealers, high physical damage dealers, but it is very much a run-at-you team. And if they get a very defensive anything here on Omega, it might be a real problem. Like, when the momentum goes down from Cyber, if they lose 2 fights in a row, their game is screwed right now.
When you do see the Slardar already on the side of Cyberium Seed, you are thinking about those heroes. You are thinking about your range heroes who can stay on that lane with Disruptor. Versus Slardar, like, he could have a lot of problems. Like, is Drow banned out? Drow is still in the pool. It's a hero that would be pretty sick in the laning stage versus him. And overall, has a bunch of these frontliners that would protect her. Ember can be a little bit problematic, so can relocate, but you would play around that with the Disruptor, ulti and glimpse back. So basically, you're thinking about Drow, you're thinking about Troll, you're thinking about these ranged heroes that can stand their ground and deal with the Slardar, because, like you said, we don't see him a lot. He is strong, but not necessarily in every lane. And if you crush him in the laning stage, he doesn't do nearly as much as, let's say, Doom, who just goes, eats a creep, comes back 13 minutes in with a Blink Dagger, no matter how the laning stage went.
Well, so you're basically offering a completely different option than Slacks was mentioning. So you can either go toe-to-toe with the Slardar and dance the dance of death, or you could go for a more defensive route.
Wow, okay. So we get even more aggressive here. But, yeah.
The defensive route is... The aggressive route that I'm mentioning is only aggressive in the laning stage.
And then you kind of chill, take a step back.
Yeah, strategically it's still defensive, like Slack said. It's still the correct way to play the game overall.
Yeah, I would love something here that would be like a come-at-me hero and I don't give a shit. I mean, I'm not a smart guy, but something like we've seen Viper in that role before, which has been a lot of fun to see people.
I think they need a win condition overall.
That's true.
On the side of Omegalil. They don't have this one true carry that will win you the game eventually. I think Drow fits that really well.
Of course. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw a Drow. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw a traditional gigantic carry here. But...
I'm hearing Cap saying Faceless Void as well. The lane might be a bit problematic, and they have catch for him too. They have Wisp as well.
It's a hard decision here.
Yeah,
the decision here is like, do we pick somebody like Drow, who's... This team is designed around running at us. Do we pick a hero that suffers from that and hope that our other boys can do it? Or do we pick somebody that's more of a tanky, can stand toe-to-toe with this team?
Wow.
They're going to go with Monkey. Okay, interesting. Any thoughts, Lizard?
So you can switch up your lanes completely now with this Monkey. You can put him on the safe lane, but you can just as well put him mid versus Ember. You should be winning any of those lanes. So overall, Monkey is weird.
Monkey is going to get shit on until he gets a BKB
Monkey
this game.
Weird,
he is going to get beat down.
What we saw OG pick it didn't work for them. If it didn't work for them, I don't know if a lesser team can play this hero because he's shit.
You know how sometimes when you're watching the draft and you see the last pick and all of the analysts are like, wait, what the heck? But you can just tell on the other side the team's just like, got him!
Yeah, we got him!
We got him, boys! It's like the most five-headed moment ever. Yeah, I'm excited to see whether it bears fruit or not. I mean, if you do look at EGB.com, the odds are going to be in favor of this team. See if the Monkey King sways this at all.
It's just that Omegalil, they have the names. Does the draft reflect their, skill level? I'm not sure. I would actually favor Cyberium Seeds draft quite
Yeah, I think this one, like so many in this league, depends on the Tiny. If Tiny has a great game, if his rotations are good, their go-in team is all squishy. If the early game sucks and Tiny does his job, then yeah, they could succeed. But Monkey King's just going to have a hard time until he gets items, so I'm interested to see how it turns out.
All right, so it's all about first impressions in this one. It's going to be about the early game. Let's see who's going to be able to take it. I'm going to throw it over to two people that make terrible first impressions.
Oh,
they don't.
Keep the shot on him.
Keep it.
Cyberium Seed. Omegalil. Let the battle begin!
Hello, friends. Welcome back to Omega League. I'm here with my co-host,
co-caster,
analyst.
You're good.
My analyst, Capitalist Dota.
Yep.
I am Dota Jenkins, bringing you this game between Cyberium Seed and I forgot.
Omegalil.
Omegalil.
No. So when you come to that, just leave it open and hope your co-caster fills in for you. You know that it's a partnership, Jenkins.
Well, it was. I was just setting you up earlier.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do we got here during the draft? I heard.
Wait, real quickly. Can I just point out that was very rude of Rich to just shit on the two teams like that? I know it's the Divine League, but you don't need to talk about their horrible first impressions that they make. Jesus Christ, Rich. Have a little response for the competition.
Anyway. Speaking of competition,
yes.
In front of us we have this wonderful game between Omegalil and Cyberium Seed, much better than the main Cyberium squad. You said you don't like the Snapfire. What is it about this hero that you don't like?
I actually am. I quite like Cyberium Seed's lineup as a whole. The Snapfire, it didn't quite fit for me. I appreciate the fact that they have a support that is a little bit tankier, and
level 1 rune fight, 3 heroes. Doom, he can possibly take a lot of damage here, but it is just a Grimstroke and a Doom at level 1. He does skill the Scorched Earth though, so he's got the damage.
That's gonna feel really bad if they don't get this kill.
It's too far. There's no way he can get that snipe. I mean, this means Doom starts with Scorched Earth. That's a bit of a problem here. Not going to have that Devour for the extra gold and regen in the laning phase.
Yeah, at the same time, they are shutting out the Gyrocopter. I was a little bit surprised he didn't TP out to lane yet, but guess there he goes. Doesn't want to miss a single CS, and now our Doom is going to be behind in economy-wise just because of not having that Devour and also not benefiting from the regen, though level 1 Devour, not great on the regen department.
It's something.
It's only 1 right now after the nerf.
Okay, this top lane, Snapfire sitting a little bit low. Both of these heroes. I mean, everybody in this lane looks like they're kind of low. Support's just trading a bit in the side. Looks like that camp is blocked.
So what I like about it, the Snapfire, is that it trades really well against most other supports because it's tankier, and the Scatterblast does so much damage, and it is a nice combo with the Slardar. Normally I feel like the Snapfire hero just isn't that good unless you're matched up against those Undying Phoenixes where you've got like this clear counter off of your third ability.
Yep. It's nice when she is useful.
Yeah.
That's always a good thing.
That said, what I do really like about Cyberium's lineup as a whole is the fact that I felt like at some point in time they were going to be running out of damage, and the Slardar solved a lot of those issues, right? We had 2 very tanky cores picked up by Omegalil. They went for this Tiny and Doom, and one of the problems
is that... It's a lot of damage.
It's so...
Malik, he needs to be careful. But Lil, he's defending his core. He's being a good support. I don't think they have enough damage to kill Little Pleb. No, we're...
If anything, they're going to run down.
Little Pleb? Looks like Lil is the Little Pleb. First blood to Lil Pleb. Malik, he's going to go in.
Dude, look at that fairy fire.
Double kill. Cyberium Seed starting off strong.
And they get the kill at top lane. I don't think this Monkey King was going to be the answer to the Slardar that they thought it was. Slardar is one of those heroes that can man up against pretty much any of the safe lane carries. And while Monkey King has some options, I don't think you actually, because of the support battle, I think that's what makes the difference. If you had a superior support on your side as the 5 position, then yeah, maybe the Monkey King would be able to abuse this Slardar. But with a Snapfire, they've got really good damage to be able to burst this Monkey King down 100-0. And Monkey King feels terrible when he can't actually man up on the opposing core.
This is true. Okay, how about this mid lane, though? Look at this. 17-2 and 14-1. Tiny is doing very well in this. Is this a hugely Tiny favored matchup, Cap?
I don't believe so. If you want to chime in here as a play-by-play caster and
yes, there was a big toss coming in from Tiny on the top lane. Looks like we got some battle.
You can lend some analysis sometimes, I'm sure.
Not trying really.
Oh no, the cookie went over Kelvin.
Cookie went over, but the Scatterblast does a lot of damage. He does have a bash. He's got a couple more hits. That's all he needs. Just the stomp. Happy Dura walking away from that. His core dies.
But yeah, if I believe that like because of the CS, we're gonna see that early kill on Kellen.
Yeah, literally just beating his ass with the bash. That's all it is. Slardar, like you said, just out trades with these heroes. Good chains onto the Tiny. Couple of creeps hitting him, but
yeah,
this hero doesn't care too much.
Wanted to prevent that deny that was coming out. He used mid-animation for that big hit, and that's part of the reason Sunlight is able to get at the CS lead is because he hit so hard in those first few levels. But eventually the Ember Spirit's going to be superior as the Flame Guard, especially at the level 3 where it gets that really big amount of magic damage that it can absorb. Sure. He'll just out-trade with the Tiny, I think, at that point.
Lil Pleb diving Lil here. He's got the heals from the Wisp. He does pop the salve, but so does Lil. He's got his wand to work with, or his stick, I should say. A little bit of a bait on both sides with the regen. Okay,
and we just keep on going back and back and back.
Yeah, once again, Slardar just whacking away.
Get him!
Malik, he is very low. Wisp does not have the right click, but he does end up feeding to the tower. Going a little bit too hard for that kill. And on the top lane, more pressure coming in from Cyberium Seed. You know, you said this support battle is definitely won by this Snapfire, but what about with Disruptor's level 3? Does that make a difference?
Oh, absolutely. He's probably going to go that second level of Thunderstrike because this laning phase is so rough, and it is one of the most value abilities. Damage to manage ratio is like so incredibly favorable for Disruptor at that point, but I think at this point it may end up being too late just because they've lost the laning phase so much. The Slardar is going to feel really good. He doesn't have a Snapfire with him right now, though.
Jumps on to Sam. He's got 3 stacks of the Monkey King Jingu on him. Although Ember Spirit is coming up top, doesn't even look like he's needed. It's just enough to right-click him with the Slardar. Mastermind, he's looking for the Disruptor. I mean, this is a level 3 Disruptor. He's already 50% HP, and the Bash is already procced up, so barely even need Mastermind here. But he does get some pressure on this top tower.
It's not something that I think was really feasible, but it would have been nice if Omegalil could have started off with a tri-lane to be able to give this Monkey King like level 2, and we would have seen a big difference. But the problem with that is you can't leave a Doom alone against a Gyrocopter Wisp. He just get run out of lane too
Especially
often.
After the first, the level 1 that they had, where he had to level up that Scorched Earth. That's definitely a problem for them. And they're able to keep this Siege creep alive for a little while here, but the Monkey King from the trees does use that stun, scares them away. Siege Catapult goes down, 50% HP tower. I think you're pretty happy with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
On the bot lane, we have Doom running in. That's a lot of damage from that Scorched Earth. And the combo with the Grimstroke. Wisp is trying to keep him alive. He uses the Fairy Fire. Can they turn this around on Malik? He hits the Grimstroke spell, but Doom still dies first.
Yeah. That means that Gyrocopter, he's going to get that faster level 6, and that just means he's going to dominate the laning phase even more. It's time for this Tiny to get involved. Both his side lanes are losing, so he's got to come in and try and help get some kills, which he will on the IO here, but Mastermind's doing equally the same.
Yeah, he is still top. He wants to come in. Tiny TP's top after killing the Wisp on the bot lane. Puber is looking to... Oh, that is probably not how the name is pronounced. Oh, no. How do people do this?
I mean, it's not terrible.
Sunlight
it could
comes
be that
in
way.
With the Tiny Avalanche Toss combo. Big stun from the Monkey King. It was buffed at level 1, and he is taking so much damage from the Slardar. Mastermind just left the mid lane, and he is not interested in going back. In fact, nobody's in the mid lane, not even a support soaking experience. That is how much action is in this game. That is the meta right now, isn't it, Cap?
Yeah, and I think this goes to kind of what I was talking about in the fact that with these two very tanky core pickups in the Tiny and Doom very early on, you could see a world where Cyberium Seed would have an issue with pumping out enough damage and just being kind of like jumped on, bursted down on one hero, and then kind of being overwhelmed by the power of these super strength heroes. But with the Slardar Corrosive Haze, it makes it so both this Ember Spirit and Gyrocopter, they feel really good about their damage.
Yeah, you always win the trades with this hero. I mean, I think Slardar's overpowered. I really think he just takes any draft, and it's like, oh, we win the late game. We do more damage than you because my guy doubles our damage.
And then on top of that, it's going to be easy Roshan taking for Cyberium Seed, which you look at their lineup, they didn't really have good Rosh taking before. But once that Slardar comes into play, if they can actually win the laning phase, turn that into a fast Rosh.
Drops the ulti. That's all he really needs in a couple of right clicks. Malik is a little bit low. Sam on the top lane running away. Just uses the TP. There's no rocket to come out from the Gyrocopter, so he should be fine. On the top lane, we have a little bit of pressure on here on Sunlight, although this is a level 6 Mastermind. I don't know if this is going to work out too well. You don't have that level 6 on the Snapfire either.
It's an interesting decision from Mastermind here. He's the most veteran player on Cyberium Seed, and he's really choosing to nerf his own game by being as active as possible and making sure these side lanes continue to do well. They continue to build up on the advantage that they took in the first 7 minutes.
Doom, speaking of nerfing, he's nerfing his own game by heading towards that top lane. He is not interested in going bot. We actually have the Disruptors kind of sitting in the trees and soaking down there. That lane did not go well in the bot lane. Lil is actually level 6, and Malik is level 5.
And I think this is rough. This game's going to become really, really scary if Omegalil don't manage to take any towers. Because first of all, gold-wise, it helps their mid-game progression, but then also control the map. The best thing about IO is that you can play separate from the rest of your team and still be there for these team fights. And towers allow you to do that with impunity.
Yeah, and also the Ember as well. Does get the rocket on the Monkey King down here, but he's able to jump to a tree, which means he can jump away. For some reason, it doesn't cancel his jump away, just the jump to the tree.
Think about how they want to go on this Gyro Wisp. They want to be able to take this bottom tower, but they can't because they know the rotations. That Tier 1 tower protects Lil Pleb. and his IO. They feel really comfortable, even if 5 people show up, that they'll be able to disengage, their allies will TP in, and then they'll be able to hold. And that just means there's very little map control for Omegalil.
They did actually lose the tower. Somehow, I don't know how they ended.
Oh, yeah.
I think with the tiny rotation. Although Snapfire does have the ulti, but there is a minimum range to that, so you can't get it onto the Doom. The big double stun coming out. Monkey King ult on the backline on the Gyro Iroh who are wrapping around. You hit the Doom onto the Ember Spear. That's definitely an important hero, but the big Gyro ult, can it hit the Doom? So
don't deny him.
The Doom. Relocate out. Okay, back into the fountain. Oh no, that's actually back towards the tier 1. Monkey King jumps in, but so does Gyro Combo
nice cookie.
With the cookie. Get the courier, but lose your life to do so. Definitely a good trade for Cyberium Seed. Sunlight has that Invis and he's looking for more, but that is a bunch of full health heroes jumping in. Mastermind goes in onto the Disruptor, able to take him down. He's only level 5 with that Slaughter amplification. It is too easy. Sunlight, if he can...
I think he's waiting for the Flame Guard to wear out.
Yeah, he can maybe do this.
It'd be so clutch if he managed to get him right now.
The illusion. Okay, they get the silence. And the tree toss, it's enough damage.
Beautiful. That was just beautiful. Really well done by Sunlight. That was just a little bit of a silver lining to this very dark cloud that is currently hanging over them because they're down by 3,000 net worth this early on. And again, it is, as you pointed out, when they have the Slaughter, they're just going to feel good about their late game. If they don't manage to take, like, Omegalil's lineup does have really good mid game, right? When you get online with your Doom and he's able to be this tanky frontliner, if they can get the Soulbind double Doom combination, that'll be really nice to have, especially if they catch the Gyro Iroh combination at the very start. But when you're down by this much net worth, it's hard to be able to make your mid-game work when the enemy team is just one item ahead of you all the time.
Yeah, lots of movement speed, lots of HP to work with. You know, the Doom does not feel as effective. You have an IO that also can stand really far back because the Gyro is so tanky. Although, with that being said, if you do get the jump on them, if the Disruptor ult comes out from these 2 heroes, they catch the counter smoke, or they should have, I think. Maybe they didn't. Maybe this gives them a false sense of security in Cyberium. They're about to find absolutely nobody. That's too bad.
Yeah, this one of the biggest problems is without this Blink Dagger, I don't feel confident about his...
Jumps him under the tower. He uses the Grimstroke bubble, but unfortunately, doesn't look like it's going to be enough. Mastermind jumps in, puts the Remnant out, gets the kill. Quick and easy. Puber, he's in. He sees the Disruptor. Disruptor has the ult, but he's got a 300 HP left, doesn't have the kinetic field.
Try to juke it.
Puber. He's not trying to hit him.
Care about
he's not
the Disruptor.
Interested. He wants to go for the back line. Doom is caught. Gyro with the ult. Monkey King pops the ult too, but they're already out. They just wanted to go for the Doom kill, and that's enough. What a team fight. 17-4.
Yeah, now they're just going to take this mid tower. Once you take this mid tower, it opens up Roche a lot more, especially as Radiant Sign when you've taken the safe lane tower away as well.
Sunlight getting gone on here. Mastermind just uses the... Okay, we've been jumping from the Slaughter. He has the blink already.
He has the Blink Dagger before the Tiny does.
And
Cyberium Seed, they know that Omegalil, they've got to be tilted out of their minds. Happy, he's going to go down here. Static Storm may actually get the Ember Spirit killed here. But he can get the silence afterwards, and he does. Lil, really nicely done there with the follow-up.
Very nice. Yeah, I mean, diving a little bit too deep there, but, you know, Mastermind, he is trying to keep on the pressure this game. It is obviously working out for him. He is making a lot of space for his team. He's got an Iroh-Gyro combo. So these heroes, you know, they like to farm. Slardar, great late gamer. If you can hold off and just delay the game, you're probably going to win.
Yeah, we see this Battle Fury build up for Kellen. I think maybe he believes that they've just kind of missed their timing and he's going to have to hit more of a stronger, like 30, 35-minute window. Yeesh. But I don't think they're going to be able to outscale Cyberium Seed. I think their only real good window here is this 15 to 25 minutes. I think that's the only time they're going to feel strong. And it's going to be purely off the initiation of the Tiny. That's all they can rely upon. If he gets the right initiation and then they get the double Doom combo, that can be an easily won fight.
Speaking of initiation, Samsam jumps right in. He doesn't get the final bash, but Mastermind, he comes in and he snipes that kill. Like you mentioned, with that Slaughter ult, Ember Spirit does a lot of damage. So why do you think he's not going for a Midas instead of a Battle Fury this game? Like the Battle Fury seems a bit late, a bit greedy.
Absolutely. I think...
Sunlight comes in with the jump, but it's not enough damage. Like you mentioned, there's too many stats on Ember. They have too much of a gold lead right now.
Relocate on the right side.
Relocate comes in. Gyro pops the ult. It's on to 3. Double Doom comes out. Was that a double Doom or a single Doom?
I think it was the double Doom, but it's a defensive one at this point in time. You can't actually get aggressive. They're just going to be able to back up.
Yeah, that's it.
Reset.
No glimpse onto the Snapfire. He's too low level on the Disruptor. Not that I think it would even do much given the net worth disadvantage that they're at.
Yeah, we're just not really seeing the pieces come together. Like, they're supposed to have 2 support answers.
Disruptor walks up the hill, instantly dies Sunlight. He does go on the back line, but this Snapfire is too tanky with the cloak. Just a casual cloak, that's all you need. Boys and girls, stun coming out onto the Monkey King, who's going for that Battle Fury, pops his ult. They're standing in the middle. They might take a lot of damage, but it looks like he's taking way too much damage to even utilize that Monkey King ult.
Yeah, it's rough. They've already got an Aghanim Scepter for Lil Pleb. Jeez, that's just going to... I mean, he's already got this IO. They've already got map control, so he's just going to be able to sweep through these jungle areas. His farm's really going to pick up, and he's already ahead by like 2,000 net worth over any core in Omegalil, and it's only going to get worse from here, because especially with this Monkey King, like, if he had Battle Fury right now and they lived in a world where they had equal map control, then maybe he'd be able to somewhat keep up. As it is, he's just going to fall so far behind. And I think Omegalil, they're going to need some sort of miracle. They're going to need just the dream of dream team fights to be put together. And as it is, we're just not seeing it. Like, they're supposed to be able to get like Static Storm Kinetic Field combo up against the IO Gyro if they ever relocate in. They have the Glimpse back, which is a really powerful tool against IO as well. In these situations, they're supposed to be able to have Soulbind, Double Doom, but every single time these abilities come out, they've already been jumped by Cyberium Seed. They're already a man down. They're not able to get aggressive once they throw those abilities out.
So what you're saying is it's all about the item advantage. It's all about who gets the jump. On an even playing field, you think that Omegalil would have a great chance at winning these fights with the Double Doom, with the combos that they have, with the counters that they have for the Cyberium Seed lineup, but on the net worth disadvantage, it's just not possible.
Yeah, absolutely, and this sort of advantage just kind of snowballs on itself, because now if a Cyberium Seed, they continue to just put up, honestly, just decent execution, they'll take a tier 2. Once they take that tier 2, if they can get it before 20 minutes, boom, there goes a ton of experience away from Omegalil, and that just means even more so. I mean, look at Puber. He gets right in front of Sunlight, and he doesn't even immediately die to the combo, and that feels so bad for a Tiny.
He's actually setting up for his team. They have the relocate coming in. You'd think that Puber would be scared here, but he's not.
He's a man.
He's 1v1. He runs into the Tiny, the enemy mid laner, and he's fine. Mastermind goes in as well. He's 1v1ing. Now he's got the Gyro IO coming back in. The Glimpse does come out. It is on the Gyro, but honestly, I feel like he doesn't care if he's top. Monkey King actually having to farm up the enemy jungle, but Puber, he's going for it.
Dude, this man is insane. I thought he'd be back to base when he was at 100 HP.
No, he doesn't care.
He's like, I've got Tranquil Boots. That's all I'll ever need.
He's a hunter. She's got a gun. She's a boomstick. She's got a boomstick. She's not a boomstick. That would be a very confusing hero.
Need just a giant shotgun, just a walking autonomous shotgun.
That would be extremely confusing. I don't know what character. Some like American Texan character. All right, we're gonna get off this subject. Huber walking down towards this bot room. We have a power rune coming out. Let's see what it is. A DD would be very convenient at this moment because there is the
Arcane Rune is just as good, if not better, for Mastermind.
Yeah, definitely. One of the best heroes with that Arcane Rune. Can you tell me why is Ember so good with the Arcane Rune? What is it that differentiates this hero from others?
I mean, he's got 4 different spells. Arcane Rune, cooldown reduction, works miracles on him. He's just able to play with that constant jumping in because his remnants are coming up faster. And he already feels good about it because he's got this Yule Scepter. So the biggest thing he has to be scared of is Doom.
Sam. Maybe Lil should be scared of Sam here, jumping in. Just with the bash is enough to kill him. Disruptor on the backline. Huber's going in and basically solos him. They're just a little too far out. You can't be close to that river, man. There's a Slardar. There's a fish monster in this game. Be careful.
BKB now and Lil Pleb, you could see they want to be able to take an early tier 2. I'd love to see a rotation invading the jungle as they take this tier 2 and secure that outpost.
Push them out
before 20 minutes. And then once you take that outpost, again, that is more Roshan control, which the Slardar gives you free Rosh taking abilities. So this is about to get really bad really quickly
just
for
like
Omegalil.
You said, the sweep has been drawn on the map. They're doing the exact sweep that you talked about. You see this very commonly in this patch. I think with the outpost change, that's the more common thing. You have this fluidity of the map going between the different jungles, taking over triangles. So here we see it, the exact play that you mentioned. This means that Cyberium Seed, when they do get into that enemy triangle, they can basically just take over this game and keep Omegalil on their base forever.
Yeah, I think at this point, with the BKB, you could probably take any Roche fight if you want, or they could just continue to hunting because they've got nice aggressive vision down. And every single time, what I love about this is that they always protect their vision or at least get a trade when a ward goes down.
Is there going to be a trade for this from Omegalil, though? They missed the ult, but Sunlight, he's in the only other possible place with that ult not hitting. They know he's in the trees. Stay in the trees, they said. It didn't work.
HY was wrong.
He was wrong.
No experience for Omegalil with the 20-minute outpost being taken away. Malik is trying to get his BKB. He's trying to get to a point where he can actually put Doom on somebody and man up and finish off the job, right? He wants to be able to get the Soul Bind combo onto heroes, 2 Dooms, and he just runs in. The sad part is by the time his BKB comes up, is at the same time that Cyberium Seed's physical damage is going to start coming on point, right? Like before, it's just been a bunch of magic damage for first 20 minutes of the game with an Ember Spirit, Gyrocopter. They just amp so much magic damage everywhere. But you've got a Gyrocopter who's hitting pretty hard now with that Aghanim Scepter, the Corrosive Haze doing some work.
Ember Spirit's now doing a lot of physical damage with his Sleight of Fist. Yep, exactly. I mean, even the Snapfire at this point, I feel like she's manning up. She's doing a lot of damage. Yeah, it really seems like it with how much she's hunting in the trees, and she is the one drawing on the map. So it looks like possibly the
I was going to say, I wonder if he's thinking about that next item, Desolator, for the Ember Spirit, because it's just going to look so good.
It feels
with
so
a Gyrocopter, right, who has this flat cannon hitting everybody, the Sleight of Fist, putting that debuff on everybody on top of the Corrosive Haze. This Roshan's going to die whenever they choose to do it, which they're just giving Omegalil no breaks whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, they're just taking towers. You guys can't have these towers. We'll take Roche when we feel like it. Although, Omegalil, they are on the back line here. They're on the enemy side of the map. They do get a courier, which reveals them, but Sam, he jumps in onto Lil. Both of these supports just feed to him so easily. I don't even think they can do anything about this. I think if they doom him, he just kills the support, then walks away.
Yeah, especially if he gets off the BKB before the doom, then, okay, the fight is definitely not worth taking. So
they're taking the top set of racks.
Goddamn, I love the speed with which they're playing because Omegalil feels like they can't ever put together a decent game plan and catch Cyberium Seed. They're just always kind of like 3 or 4 man together, running around the map, making kills happen.
They're always dead on one hero.
Yeah.
They've just been pressuring for this entire game straight. And you know, this is great to see because I think a lot of people seeing that Lil is on this Omegalil squad and just the names on here that, okay, this team is, you know, they've got the clout. But Cyberium, they're saying, we're not just going to be the seed squad, we're going to be the main squad after this. We're going to blossom and turn into a full-blown...
Orchid?
Yeah.
I like an orchid. It's a great flower.
Are they poisonous?
They're poisonous to animals, so be careful with them.
Are humans animals?
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Yes. We are all animals.
Really? Yeah. I got called an ape last night in a pub. So okay, speaking of apes, Monkey King drops the Monkey King ult, and the Doom comes out of the trap with the relocate out! But it's not, it's too close! It was way too close! He just jumps on the Tiny was there already. The Snapfire ult comes out, but you've lost your Gyro and your IO. Disruptor, though, he's getting soloed by Sam. Just the right click turn
go.
Mastermind, he's got another Arcane Rune. I don't know if that was the same one or if he's just gotten 10 this game. Tiny goes in. He's dead. They don't even need the Gyro IO. That's the GG.
They got the Gyrocopter once. They killed the IO. They said, that's it. We did it, boys.
I was so confused. I thought that relocate, it's like, oh, he's in Fountain. Thank goodness. IO, the hero.